All right, the Patriots have beaten the Broncos 10-7 in another wild, snowy game. Playoff football, and the season is almost over now. One more game remaining versus the Seahawks. Certainly not the most high-scoring game, but these kind of games remind us of how much fun it is to have football in the snow, and I just hope that NFL teams do not decide to completely remove all of these outdoor stadiums. You know, a lot of these teams are going towards indoor stadiums, and I just really feel like if you lose this, you're going to lose a lot of fans. And I do think generally having higher scoring games in these indoor stadiums is enticing fans to bet a little more on games, and maybe that's part of the reason they want to go in that direction, but I don't really think that should be a deciding factor, as it really affects the quality of the product when you take away the weather, I think. And for this one, not having Bo Nix, unfortunately for the Broncos, probably costed him here. I mean, Jarrett Stidham went out there and did his best, but he definitely came up short in a few situations and definitely mostly looked like one of the better backups in the NFL, I would say. He hit some throws. He did run around a little bit. He did throw the ball. He made a terrible decision on the last time the Broncos had the ball, that interception. But yeah, there also were quite a few plays where he was able to scramble away, pick up something positive, and keep them chains moving, you know. He definitely did not look shell-shocked or anything. He just missed a few plays here and there. Drake May did not have himself a perfect game either. One of his first plays of the game here, a would-be pick six if that one is caught. Basically a quick slant here, where the underneath defender is cutting under it and just is unable to come up with it. And Stidham would respond after going 3 and out their first drive. They miss a screen, but then on this deep shot going to Mims down the field on a skinny post, working away from Christian Gonzalez, showing off that great speed and a nice play here. Setting up the Broncos' only touchdown of the game. In and out route here by Sutton, and not sure if this one was on Gonzalez or the safety. They kind of looked like they were zoning this one off, and nobody really picked them up on this one. Gonzalez maybe had contained on this one, or maybe was supposed to drop down to 82 there coming across. Not 100% certain. And an easy touchdown leads to a 3 and out where Benito completely smokes Will Campbell on this one. He is just not quick enough to block defenders like this, and that could be a problem versus the Seahawks, certainly. Then it is the Broncos. Stidham on a read option takes off. Then on 3rd and 9, it is Jarrett Stidham standing in there versus pressure, getting it to Cortland Sutton on this dig route, just unable to come up with it. Then we have a sack by Q Robinson where he is just completely unblocked on this one. And this is a weird one. For some reason, the entire line is going to full slide left here versus only a 4-man front. I really don't quite understand why you would leave the edge player here unblocked. Maybe they're anticipating a blitz from the second level, but it just really didn't make any sense to me. No way the tight end's going to make that block as he's getting out for a pass here. Easy sack, and poor design on that one. That sack helps lead to a 3 and out. Then the Broncos on their next time out, they got a fake screen here leading into a draw play, and Harvey running hard today. He had some nice runs, and I do think that maybe potentially the Broncos should have ran the ball even more. And after that nice run by Harvey, Jarrett Stidham evading the rush here, reaching for the first down, and this is where you get that critical 4th and 1. And one of the main reasons this doesn't work is because that defensive line shift right before the snap there, causing the Broncos to miss 2 Patriots defenders right up the middle. And this is why this play didn't work. They probably would have been able to get it to one of the guys in the flat there, but with 2 guys unblocked right up the middle, no chance. This guy's going out for a pass, so you really have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers and 6 defenders with 2 unblocked. 77 on this play doesn't block anyone, and the center goes left to double team with the left guard. So yeah, for whatever reason, the center goes left. Nobody blocks 94, who's right over the center. And yeah, I guess they try to do like a whole slide left because 77 appears to be trying to block number 94, like go all the way across. There's just no way he's going to get there. So after calling a timeout there by Sean Payton, not able to block it upright and getting 2 free rushes right at the quarterback on a 4th and 1 is not good. Then it is the right tackle on this one. Morgan Moses losing pretty quickly. May has to just step up into a sack. Both tackles kind of struggling in this one quite a bit, and that helps set up a 3rd and 13 where May is going to stand in there and fire a missile This one to Mac Hollins to convert around the 30-yard line. That drive will wind up stalling out. Then the next time out by the Broncos, you have this play. Jarrett Stidham is scrambling, trying to extend and just trying to chuck it at his running back's feet here, I think is what he's trying to do. But this one definitely was a backwards pass, goes more than a yard backwards when you watch it down the sideline. And this is one where I just don't understand why they were blowing this play dead. This is one of those that they have been doing for quite a while now, but when you have these kind of plays where it's maybe a fumble, you cannot blow this dead. And yeah, these type of plays being blown dead is still an issue in the NFL today, and I do not understand how. This is very similar to a play that may have costed the Jacksonville Jaguars a Super Bowl run in 2019, I believe it was. It was Myles Jack on a play where he stripped the ball away from somebody, and they just blew it dead for no reason. Patriots wound up winning that game, but Myles Jack returning that may have actually scored a touchdown, and that definitely could have changed that Jaguars-Patriots game if Myles Jack returns that for a touchdown. Luckily for the Patriots, though, they do wind up scoring here their only touchdown of the game on a nice little draw play, and just a nice design here with a late quarterback draw, putting the game tied at 7, and it would remain tied for a while. Just before a half, we have both teams exchanging 3 and outs, and then it is Harvey here in the flat, able to get away from that defender and get out of bounds here. Broncos do not have a timeout, and just able to get into field goal range here for this 54-yarder. Blows right. It was pretty windy out there, very cold, and not the best kicking conditions today. And then the Patriots somehow, with one timeout, Drake May is able to scramble here and get a huge play all the way down to just about field goal range, and I guess they called the timeout there with 1 second left, they will say. But wind playing a factor again. This one pushed wide left, and we will go into half tied at 7. Patriots with the ball coming out of half. It is quick pressure off the edge again. Able to step up this time and take off all the way down to what they will call the 17-yard line. And this is where you will get one of the more controversial plays of this game. You got this tush-push play where the Patriots have 2 defensive tackles lined up at fullback. And watching this one, I'm just not really sure if Drake May got that. Coming out of commercial after the challenge, you watch here, and I'm just not really ever seeing a surge. And yeah, based on that evidence, I'm just not really sure how that's a first down. I really feel like they could have reversed this one. And any Broncos fans that are upset about that one, I completely understand. Shortly after it is Drake May going down, it is Edgerrin Cooper with the sack here, setting up the Patriots with a short field goal, which they make. And now up 10-7, the Patriots get another 3 and out. And now you got a flea flicker in a blizzard. What a gutsy call this one was. Not many passes were completed in the second half, but you got this one to Mac Hollins. And I'm really glad they showed the end zone view on this one, because if you watch here on the left side of your screen, he's going to kind of block for half a second and then take off. It's really on the receiver a lot of times to sell these flea flickers as a run play and then take off. He did a really good job on this one selling it, and that would potentially give the Patriots an opportunity to extend their lead. But again, it is the wind, and this one pushing right. Then after another 3 and out, it is some real tough running from Ramondre Stevenson on this one through the snow. Pushing really hard on that one, getting through some tough contact. That drive would eventually stall out. Then the Broncos coming back. It is RJ Harvey again, this time with a cutback, getting to the sideline for what appeared to be a first down, but they wound up calling this short. And another nice run by RJ Harvey, setting up this Mahomes-style jump pass, getting it closer. And after a nice punt, the Broncos force another 3 and out. In a terrible punt, this one out along the sideline. Referee is running down trying to spot it, and they wind up spotting this one out at the Patriots 33, where the Broncos take over, but unable to get anything really. And the field goal to tie the game is blocked there in the fourth quarter. Just really unfortunate there. Potentially could have tied the game with this one. Then the Patriots go 3 and out once again. This time they're basically just running the clock out. They run right up the middle 3 times. Broncos come out then, and it is Jarrett Stidham on this one. I thought he was just too late to get down to the check down. It was wide open. Yeah, just a little too late to get to this check down. Definitely could have had some yardage. And then the very next play, it is the one where he just chucks it up to the receiver on this one. Kind of a 9 route where it was never there. And yeah, just a terrible decision there. That's just your typical backup quarterback stuff like you would see with most backups. He can't believe it looking at the Jumbotron probably. It was never there. Not even close. So yeah, pretty fun defensive style game there with a lot of, you got some drop passes for sure. Guys slipping around. Definitely lots of missed field goals. Couple bad punts in there. Certainly some bad throws that didn't really go where the quarterback was trying to get it throughout the game. And I do think overall the snow is something that was helping the Broncos stay in this game. I do feel like if it wasn't such bad conditions, the Patriots probably would have thrown the ball for a lot more yardage and just generally had a more productive offense. And it is unfortunate for the Broncos. It just comes down to chucking it deep there, when the guy's not really open. There just is definitely a lot more things they could have drawn up there rather than taking a shot like that. And that ends the Broncos season, sending the Patriots to play versus the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Should be a really good one. And I was kind of surprised looking at it how the Seahawks are only 4.5-point favorites. I do think the Seahawks are a much better team. With their defense, I really think they could get after Drake May, especially if Will Campbell is playing like this, where he's just not really able to keep up with the speed guys, Yeah, I really think versus the Seahawks, that could be a problem. And the Seahawks run game is real. The Broncos were able to run the ball a little bit today. And I really do think that game's going to come down to how many plays can the Patriots defense make versus the Seahawks, because I do think the Seahawks defense is going to make a lot of plays versus the Patriots offense. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.